How are you? There is amazing news this week that we have a client for Apple Macintosh that we're beta testing. Can you help? We have airport in discounts. We have a new airplane. Oh my god, we launched the forum. There are so many good things and many more. Come back soon for the news. Hello everybody and welcome to SimFly News. This is Roberto Capodici. I'm gonna bring you news about SimFly every single week, and as I did past week, I'm here this week as well. And the news of today are a lot. So let's start with the first one. We finally have the beta version of the client for Mac. MacOS, Apple computers practically. So if you want to help beta test the client for Mac, let us know. There is a section in the forum, other news of the week, where you can enroll as beta tester for Mac. You're right there. We're gonna discuss there things. It's still beta, but it's not bad. So if you have an Apple Macintosh, you were in SimFly and you're still waiting the moment that the client is functional, well, we are very close to it. You can already start flying. I already tested it. It's very nice. Explained there is no other simulator for Apple that is supported at the moment, and this is the first news. Second news, the forum. We have a forum now. Is shaping, it's just being installed. There are so many new things that are gonna come, so many fun and interesting things that will synchronize between the forum and SimFly. Many people ask, but if I own an airport, can I write a description just for my airport myself? Well, it's gonna happen through the forum. Many people said, can I chat with other user? Yes, it's gonna happen through the forum, and so you can finally ask somebody on an airport if you can land there and get a good percentage, rather than you want to do airplane rental, you want an airplane of a certain particular model in a certain airport. You can ask to the owners of those airplanes if they can pass that to you. So there are gonna be many new functionality in the forum. Go there, experiment. It's not perfect yet, but it's taking shape. We're gonna slowly mold it around the user and the community, so you're going to enjoy it. There are very interesting things coming up. I'm coding very beautiful things for you all, okay? Other news, as you know, we do small things, small updates. A user gave us a suggestion to add a counter next to the word flags in a user logbook, and also next to the badges collected with milestone flight. So now when you go to a user page logbook, you can see immediately how many countries this person has visited and how many badges, how many milestone flight he has completed. So you have the number there. This is something small, but we do a lot of small things like this. Between big deployment, we go and make it slowly a little better. Other interesting news, we, after discussion with the community, and we saw that a lot of people were doing strange flight, taking off at the beginning of the airport landing strip and landing at the end of it. And this was causing a lot of issue because it blocks ground operation for the airplanes, it consumes rotation for the airport, and actually allow people to just do this repeatedly. And we understand that when people is studying and learning, I am learning now as well, but people do this as an exercise. So we don't want to stop people from doing these sort of things, but we don't want SimFly to be messed up because of this kind of behavior. So starting next week, we have rules that are not written in stone. We can always mold them with the community, but this was an urgent one. And practically a flight that is less than 20 minutes is going to be registered, but it doesn't pay tax. It doesn't pay experience point to nobody, not to the license, not to the airplane, not to the airport, and does not affect the ground operation of the airplane, does not affect the rotation of the airport or the timers of the license. So in this way, people can do these sort of things if they have a reason for doing them, but they're not going to create a mess into the database of SimFly, and they're not becoming a PAX machine either. And other things we are going to deploy 1 more week later is the maximum range of flight for different kind of airplane. So based on the model of the airplane that you're flying, you have a certain amount of time and distance that you can fly, not linear distance, but actually flown distance, after which you can keep flying for as much as you want, but there will be no emission of PAX, of experience points, and the effect that it has on the airport where you land to is as if you did a maximum range flight for the particular airplane you're using. These are simple rules to avoid cheating, to avoid complex control like refueling while you fly and other things. So we keep it simple. We know that distance that can be reached by one particular model, and we are going to put down this number together with the community. So no worries, everybody's gonna have a voice. We are not imposing things out of our fantasy. We are going to decide all this together. There will be also few other particular rules when people use airplanes that are not recognized in SimFly. A lot of things we did in the past because we had good reason to do them, but as soon as the behavior of one things affect other things and other users, we need to pay attention. And so now we are coming out with some more rules, not rules, but this is technical. I want to talk about rules, okay? SimFly has no rules in the terms of you should not do something if you can actually do it, okay? Because we are not like sending people to hell if they misbehave, okay? So there is ethics that people should apply, but just to be okay with themselves in life. But the law is the code. So if the system allows you to do something and you do it, we cannot punish somebody for doing something that the system is allowing them to do. SimFly is at the early days, so we are going slowly as we grow. Put all the control system and limitation around the behaviors that are not realistic, are not true, they're not a simulation, but they are an abuse of the simulation, okay? So in those cases, we don't want to ruin the experience of the users, but we need to make a system that doesn't affect the economy in a bad way in the long term. Our economy is very stable and is very small at the moment. So even if today people is doing these rabbit hop flights in the in the airports, or is flying overseas across the ocean with Cessna, well, it's no big deal, okay? So people that have done it, full forgiveness because the system allowed them to do it. So it's our responsibility now to limit these behaviors and avoid also other behaviors that we are noticing. Some interesting stuff we're going to discuss in the future. But I have to say a huge thank you to the community, because it's working with the community that is allowed this to be brought to the light and also to be discussed for what is the actual way to enjoy flying with a flight simulator that people like. So thanks to all of you. A few people that I had some confrontation in the past, they became very good friends, and actually they're helping a lot. So I want to say a huge thank you to the community that is working with me in all these things, is working with SimFly, because I am just the channel for the news that I want to bring to the others that are actually acting on them. So again, thank you very much. And because of an amazing community that SimFly have, the next news is 40% discount on category 3 and 4 airports until Monday at noon Zulu time. So go get your airport. Yes, 40% discount if category 3 and category 4, but only until Monday noon and Zulu time. And somebody come to me and says, you announced this such last minute, I didn't know, I missed the opportunity to get something. Well, we want to reward the community that is loyal in watching our news video, reads the newsletter, and follow us. So it's just for you. You have the opportunity to get this discount. Don't miss it, and go get your airport category 3 and category 4. And the airport is not enough. Now we have a new airplane. As we told you, we're gonna come out with a new airplane every week now. Some airplanes are commercial and are good to be rented to do flights that are more, like virtual airline flight. Other airplane we have are historical airplane, vintage, things that people like to fly with, So we have to balance. Every week we come up with something different. This week we have the Bombardier CRJ900. And CR is now Capodieci Roberto. I don't know what it is. It's CRJ900 is 50% discounted for a very limited time. The CRJ900 is a regional jet. It's being produced by Bombardier. It's being built to transport about 76 or 90 passengers. If the passengers are like me, probably only 30. If normal people, probably 90 can bring. And is going to bring these people in medium short range. Is very efficient in terms of fuel burning and for the comfort in the cabin, and it's being used a lot from a lot of local airlines, regional airlines. So don't miss this opportunity to get yourself a nice airport and CRJ900 Bombardiers. There is 50% discount this week, this short period of time until a new airplane comes out. Last but not least important, we are moving ahead with a lot of things. We already started working on the user marketplace. We had a few feedback from the community about other things to take care of urgently. We are trying to go ahead in all directions with everything, but things are moving. There is a new mission that is coming out. It's very exciting, actually. That's a very cool mission. It's going to be very exciting for all of you. And probably has the chance to include one of the first things that I heard when we started SimFly. Somebody told me, is it possible to use SimFly to pretend to be smuggling things from one country to another like this? I said, well, we can make a mission where you need to take off from a grass strip with a small airplane, fly always below a certain altitude not to be intercepted, and land in another place in another country, cross border. And probably we're gonna have the chance to do missions that are challenges of ability like this one. So don't miss what is gonna come with the new mission. At the same time, enjoy the rental mission. We start having many new users, so we are doing marketing and it's working. We had new user. I saw many more people renting airplanes. We used to have peak of users only in the weekend, and now there are people every day in SimFly. Guys, this is good. It's going well. I'm very, very happy. So SimFly is going toward success. We need to make SimFly great again, right? So the community is helping, and with the guidance of the community, SimFly is gonna go amazing. And thank you one more time for this. News for this week is enough. We're gonna move to the Ask Me Anything section. Question number 1 is being asked by Kindra, the 3rd of May 2025, 7 votes. Kindra says, hello design team. I know the current development priority is getting the user marketplace up and running. However, can you please add the ability to filter the map based on the airport reward percentage sooner rather than later? We really need to apply an apply button at the bottom, so whatever is currently showing in this airport reward percentage panel is easily filtered visible on the world map. Having this visible on the map geographically is really important when planning each flight. Thank you for continuing to make this a great platform. Thank you, Kendra, for suggestions and for the nice words. Actually, what you ask is in a queue of things that we're going to do. Slowly, we fit this between one and another. For example, before start recording the video, I saw that somebody was working on filtering available airplane by country. So you know in each country what airplane you can find if you want to rent them. I don't know. We are doing these things. We want to also show very well all the ownership, all the asset of a person in a map and showing the condition. People also suggested to change the color of the indicator in the asset to give more meaning to them. We are doing all this. We need to find the small spaces between an important work and another. But thank you. We're going to come back to you with these things absolutely soon. Question number two has been asked by Falcon at FL380, May 7, 2025, as 5 votes. And Falcon asks, hello Roberto, I bought a Cessna 172 with the intention of rental and earning some PAX. Okay, my surprise is that I can't change the PAX revenue percentage. It is fixed at 0%. If I want to do it, I have to get a premium subscription. Correct. Is that explained anywhere? Before buying an asset, you should know this kind of limitation and condition. Thank you. Well, the asset doesn't come with the revenue sharing. The revenue sharing is a function that belongs to the premium membership. Is something separated from the asset. It's like an optional for your car. You buy the base model and then you can add optional things at a different cost if you want, right? So the asset that you got works perfectly. You can rent it. It's not that you cannot rent it. You can rent it. You can use it as you want. Now, if you want to also add the revenue share to the asset, then this at the moment is limited to the premium members. So with the premium membership, you can do it without, no. But I think one thing is very important. I keep telling people, the location of where your asset is the key for renting it. Okay, check out the milestone flight, check where the milestone flight need to take off from, leave and move your airplane. Now it's still free in those airports, and you see somebody's gonna rent it. We are piling up more and more users that have no assets like airplanes, so they gonna do a lot of airplane rentals, and that's where you rent. The revenue sharing is a plus. If you want, you can get a premium membership and do revenue sharing also in the airports. The airport have a default already up to 20%, but there are many other things that the premium membership is gonna let people do that without, that's why it's an extra, right? As for example, setting a percentage in the airplanes. I hope this answered your question. So your asset doesn't come with the revenue sharing. Revenue sharing is something else that is managed separately, okay? Question number three is being asked by Gianni Romanizio, the 25th of April 2025, and has 4 votes. Gianni says, hi Roby. Gianni, egregio signor Capodieci. Anyway, I'm joking. Hi Roby, when flights depart from and arrive at the same airport, they're very short, bringing in almost no packs and still use up to rotation, which end up being wasted. The rule you introduced for those who rent aircraft and operate short flight by shortening ground operation would be really useful if applied to airport as well. Alternatively, increasing the number of weekly rotation could be a good solution. Do you think there will be a fix for this? Thanks. Gianni, as I explained before, starting Monday, Tuesday of next week, flights that last less than 20 minutes do not affect airport rotation, do not affect ground operation, and do not affect license timers. At the same time, they don't pay PAX, they don't pay experience point for none of the assets. So there will be no more the issue of short flights that create all this trouble. That's exactly why we did this. So the solution is there. Yes, we're implementing. We are testing it in our test server at the moment. It should be deployed Monday, Tuesday next week in production. Question number 4. Question number 4 has been asked by Nico Stan, the 1st of May 2025, has 3 votes. and it says, "Hi Roberto, when you pay for the instant transfer of a plane to another airport, I think it's right that a part of the cost should go to the owner of the airport as compensation for the experience point and PAX not obtained." Nicholas, this is true. It's something that we've been reasoning about a lot. At the moment, the cost of a transfer of an airplane from an airport to another is, at the moment is free. But as soon as it's gonna be enabled that people need to pay, is really a symbolic amount, just a few cents of a PAX. And start splitting those few cents between some to go board, some to go to the airport where the airplane has been transferred from, and some to go to the airport the airplane is arriving to. It just creates a disaster mathematically, because PAX have two decimal like dollars, so you have only a few cents. When those decimal become, you split into, it become a mess. So if transferring an airplane from an airport to another was going to cost, for example, 5 PAX, then I am with you. Say 6 PAX, 3 PAX goes to be burned, 1.5 goes to the airport where somebody is living, 1.5. But that's not the case. Maybe later, when and if ever the cost become higher, then it will be. For example, premium members gonna have a set of free transfer every month anyways. So it's gonna be very few people and a very little amount of packs that becomes too complicated to start distributing them around. But I'm with you, is a missed earning because there is not an actual real takeoff or landing on the other side, and it should be rewarded somehow. But we postpone this for the future, when probably there is going to be, for some kind of flight, a certain cost that is more substantial. Then we can do this splitting. Thank you for your comment. It's something that I agree with, but it's too complex to implement. Thank you for watching the video. You know what? We have social media. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers in YouTube. Oh my God, if you don't subscribe, just click that, click the bell, whatever it is to click, because I want to reach the 1,000. I heard that after that, we're going to be promoted by YouTube more, and this is something good for SimFly and tools for yourself, the community. So if you are listening to this and you're not registered yet, go register yourself and be a follower, registered member in YouTube about our channel. But also go in the other social media. You can find us in X, you can find us in Facebook if you are 50 and above, in LinkedIn if you're a professional in time, but also in Instagram. So look around, search for SimFly, and we have some very interesting news about social media next week. So it's important that you know about SimFly and social media, because it can bring you some packs. We're gonna talk about it next week. I leave you hanging on this, okay? Thank you for watching, and something very, 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 very important, SimFly, take off and get more.